Wow, oh my god, episode 2 of season 8 was amazing. So let's get right into the review. So first of all, I'm going to give it a harsh 8.5 or even a 9. Now usually with Game of Thrones, I'm a bit more harsh with my ratings just because it's such a great show. So I could, I don't have to be as lenient, because if I was lenient, every episode would be a 10. But anyway, it starts off with Jamie, of course, and I think that was such an amazing scene, having all the people there. Some people obviously dislike Jamie, for example Daenerys, for obviously good reason. The little problem with Tyrion was actually pretty good, where Tyrion was like, well, she might actually strip my title of being Hand of the Queen. That was kind of good as well. It built a bit of tension between Daenerys and Tyrion, which was actually building up for a little while, ever since season 7, with the whole, kind of mistakes that he made in season 7. Obviously, Tyrion's kind of been going like downhill in terms of his successful plans, and obviously now Daenerys is starting to pick on, and she's getting a bit annoyed with that. But of course, that was some great scenes right there. Another great scene that I liked, and I wish it was slightly longer because it was so good, was the scene where Tyrion, Jaime, Podrick, Brienne of Tarth, or should I say Sir Brienne of Tarth, I'll get to that into a little bit, Tormund, Davos, all of them together by the fire, drinking wine, and pretty much they're all here for the same reason. They want to contemplate, just before they fight the dead. And I think that was such a great scene, such a slow moment in the episode, and it's kind of different from everything. Every other scene was kind of, well, most other scenes were kind of like stress and like tension induced, and it kind of like put you on the edge of your seat. And so whenever you go back to that scene where they're all by the fire pit and just drinking wine, it's just such a relief in a way, knowing everyone's like, it's probably one of the last few good times that you are going to have before episode 3 hits, which is of course the big battle. Brienne of Tarth also becoming a knight, that was so good, man. If you guys haven't noticed yet, the theme of defying traditions has actually been increasing. A lot of defying tradition moments has occurred as well in the episodes, such as Lyanna Mormont saying that she wants to fight on the battlefield. You literally see her with armor, and of course the Lannisters fighting for Winterfell, which obviously Jaime and Tyrion make a reference to in earlier of the episode. So that's kind of interesting. There's a lot of defying traditions moment. Brienne of Tarth becoming a knight, when she couldn't before, just because she wasn't a boy, a male. Obviously that was kind of really nice to see her defy the traditions, and Sir Jaime's finally there. Obviously there's the little funny kind of like romance, I'd say, between the romance tension between Jaime and Tormund, of course, and that was funny with the Tormund scene about how he was called Giantsbane. That was really funny, kind of weird, and I love Sir Jaime's Nikolai for his acting, because his WTF face is so good. Like, he's just so good. It's not comparable with anything else. Right, okay, Arya and Gendry moment. Wow. I'm low-key, one of my favorite moments in the episode. Never thought I'd see Arya having sex with anyone on screen, just because Arya is such like a baby face, and it's kind of weird to understand that she's so grown now. That moment with Gendry was so good. It was kind of building up. There's a lot of romance tension, and then when she took off her gloves, I knew it was game over. But yeah, love that scene, good stuff. Never thought I'd see it, but man, I was low-key hyped when I saw it. Just as she popped off her gloves, I was like, wow, okay, it's happening. And Jon telling Daenerys the truth, wow, that was actually a pretty good delivery. I kind of had a little bit of a problem with, the R+L because J, revealed to Jon. I feel like that was a bit, they could have definitely done it better. It was a bit too cold, I'd say. But this was actually very good. And this is when I start to dislike Daenerys. The first thing is, hold on, you're my nephew? It's not that. It's not, oh yeah, we've been sleeping together. No, it's none of that. That makes you a better claim to the throne than I am. Clearly, all she cares about is the throne. And in a way, Jon is kind of like, whoa, what's going on here? What is that what you're thinking about? He makes that little squint face, like, what are you, just forget that, I'm not interested in any of that. I can't believe Daenerys is starting to annoy me with that. She is obviously a queen, that's all she wants to be. and it's starting to kind of annoy me because obviously we got a bigger threat, and that is the White Walker. You know, at one point during the episode, I thought, well, the safer option would be, you know, if she thought that Jon was somehow also a threat to her claim to the Iron Throne, as well as Cersei, she should just withdraw her people, right? You know, she could always do that, just ride off with her dragons somewhere else. And obviously, like, the dragons should help a lot. You know, maybe those are the deciding factors. No matter how many men you have, maybe those dragons are the reason you might live. And she takes them away and just flies off back to Dragonstone. It would be a bit crazy. But yeah, Jon telling Daenerys the truth, I think it was delivered really well. You know, it could have definitely, you know, I don't blame her, because all her life she's been, you know, in exile, and now she's finally coming back, and now she's almost thinking about, you know, she's got two enemies now rather than one. You know, Jon doesn't care about the Iron Throne. He could sit on it at the end of the, you know, of the season, but well, he is a Stark at the end of the day. He might have Targaryen blood, but he also has Stark blood, and he's got a Stark environment. He loves the North. The North is his home, and I don't know why Daenerys, you know, is being paranoid about this, but I can understand why. Anyway, I'd give this an episode between an 8.5 to a 9. That was, of course, episode 2, and I'll see you for episode 3.